Okay, hi. So, bullet journaling. Basically, you're making lists. You can use any part of this that you want to use. The bullet journaling guy says that like the major thing is the index. I actually don't use the index that much, so I wouldn't worry about that yet. I find the biggest thing that's helpful to have is, so this is like the first one I did, is the brain dump and the month. And the brain dump I try to keep open all the time. So often if I'm working on something, I'll be like, I have to do this other thing. And if I don't write down that I have to do that other thing, then I get just way too distracted for what I'm doing right then. So having a place to write down everything I need to do makes me feel better about not doing it right this second, because I write it down and then I'm not so worried that I'm going to forget. And so for this brain dump area, you can put anything. And then on the opposite side here, maybe I'll do that. You have the month. And you just put like, I put the date and then the days of the week. You can tell this is the first one because I made the weekends a different color. I haven't bothered since. And then I just write down things I need to do that day. So this is a lot of appointments and stuff that I needed to take my dad to, or my, whatever. And I use quite a wide book. So they're like, only put important events or whatever. And so if I was teaching and, I'm hoping to teach high school, I wouldn't necessarily put like which classes I'm teaching that day, but I would say like work. And then, I have an appointment, at lunch or something. Just so that later when you're making the plan for the day, you're like, oh, right, I have to do that thing that day. And that's different than normal. God, I'm terrible at this, hey? On the thing, he does 1 month. And I sort of know that I might not necessarily do the next month in time. So I like here, this was, what is that, March, and I did the first week or two of April, and then I can put it all in one spot. And then also if like there's future things coming up, I'll just like write them in there. I'll write the date, I'll make a note, and then when I go to the next month, I just move over any April dates, right? And there's May. I've started that a little bit. And then here's my new to-do. And here you can see I've kind of started to split up. These are big things that I really need to get done. And these are things, I kept putting things on my list that were like laundry. And then I would cross it off and then I would put it back on because, I always have to friggin' do laundry. So I put like recurring and stuff, but you don't have to do that, right? So you do that for the month or whatever, 2 months. Then you go by day. So Wednesday, March 4th. And then you just write what you have to do that day. And I think, on the bullet journaling website, he has, I think, A square is for to do, a circle is for something that's the time. I don't remember. Fuck that noise. I can't, whatever. I don't care. I just do like circles for everything. If it needs to be done at a certain time, I put the time. Is this backwards for you? Yeah, it's backwards. But that's okay. It's probably good. I'm probably showing you some information I shouldn't. In the beginning, I was also ambitious, and I was like, I'm going to put stickers. I put one sticker of my cat, and it's because I was mad at her for peeing on the bed. And so that just says, she will pee on your bed. But look, so cute. Then you go through your day, and you can either just check off things you've done. So then I have like 3 p.m. I have an appointment that I have to go to. And then I have a little note that says like, bring paperwork. And then here I have a note that's like, you have to leave the house at 2:30 to be there on time. So there's a note just for myself. Then like dogs. So I have to take the dogs on a walk. And then when I'm doing the planning, this is when I take the time to figure out like, okay, how long is that going to take me? How long is the driving going to take me? How long will it take me to get changed when I get back before I can leave again? So I do all that math, and then I figure out that the latest I can leave to take the dogs on a walk is, 1:30. Because I can take them, I guess, I don't know. This doesn't seem like enough time now looking back, but I'm sure it was fine. I'll write down like what time I have to take my meds. As I'm going through the day, I might write down when I took them, because some of my pills, it's like they last 8 hours, and I want to know if they're still supposed to be working, if I'll be fine if I take more, whatever. And it also helps me remember that I took them. Yeah, so like 11:30 I have an appointment with Angie, but I have a note here that's like, if I'm taking my sister to her appointment, then I need to make sure that I leave by this time. Here, wash blankets now has like a big star against it, because it's like I really need to do that. Some ideas for what I want to do. So you basically just write out your day, and it will develop as you go. So now I've found, I'll try to find a page that's more recent. So this is from last Thursday. So I have 8 a.m. coffee with mom and dad. So I have to go meet them. Then I have to get my dad home from his appointment at about, so I have like at about 10:30. Then I need to walk the dogs, and then in brackets I'll put an estimate for how much time I think that's going to take. So this I think will take about 1.5 hours. Then I need to check on cats, because I'm looking after some cats, and that's going to take about half an hour. And then I have to text these people, blah, 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 and then these are other things I need to do. So like one of the things I need to do right now is organize my student loan repayments. So I have organized student loan payments, and then I have like, I've broken it down. So this isn't even as broke down as I have it later, but it's like, find the number to call. Okay, then you need to call them. And then when you call them, you need to make sure that you have your account number with you. So find the paperwork, which I now have sorted into my handy folder. Then when you're talking to them, I have to ask them I have to set up how I'm making payments. So are we to pay them, or are they going to keep withdrawing? Because that's not been working great. How do I make, I have other questions like how do I make lump sum payments, blah, blah, blah. So I put that all there. And then I got like really overwhelmed with how much stuff there was. So I said like, oh God, maybe do one of these things. And then like, oh right, what the fuck is up with your Wi-Fi? Because that was being screwy. And then like here I have a little plan for when I'm hoping to take my meds. And then sometimes I'll do math for, so here's a day where, like again, walk dogs 1.5 hours, do house sitting stuff half hour, shower is going to take, that includes other stuff, but about half an hour. And then I have things that I might want to do. So like re-dye my hair, about an hour. And then I have things like a load of laundry, which in some ways takes 15 minutes, but in other ways it takes 4 hours because I have to put the laundry on and then I sort of have to be there half an hour later to switch it, or an hour later, and then I have to be there another hour later to make sure it comes out. So I need to have that kind of written down to plan my day. And then I'll do like math. So how much time do I have to do all these things? And when do I need to leave by? And so I can do planning like that the night before. And it does help. Often I don't get all that stuff done. But it does help me see, sometimes I look at it and I'm like, okay, I definitely can't do that all. Sometimes I look at it and I'm like, I can fit a nap in there. And it's very exciting. Questions I need to ask. So really, month and then day. Then you can also throw in just like random journaling. So I'm really trying to pay attention to a lot of my mental health symptoms because I'm switching up meds and I've been seeing a new psychiatrist and it's great. And so I write down things like, I write down questions I want to ask her, things I want to mention, and I find that really helpful if I'm going to a doctor's visit, any kind of doctor's visit, to have a list of all the things I want to mention. Especially if you're going to see, well, actually not even especially, just like for doctors, because sometimes you'll mention the first thing and then you'll get kind of carried away and you'll only talk about that. And then at the end, well, I don't know if you will do that, but I'll do that and I'll forget to ask all these other things. Or sometimes I'll put like little notes to myself, like, don't leave without making sure you get this, or remember to ask about samples for medication or whatever. Sometimes I put in quotes that I want to share. So it's to track my symptoms, it's to track my thoughts. I also find that if I'm getting really overwhelmed, a kind of meditation for me, I guess, can be to just write down what I'm physically feeling at the moment. So I just try to write down what it physically feels like. I've hit 15 minutes again. Oh my God. Okay. That didn't turn off, did it?